Okay, welcome to Gyeongju, South Korea, the historic capital of the Shilla dynasty, the once upon a time city of gold. And we've just arrived at the train station, and I want to give you a key travel tip. When you were in Korea, so you can tell there's high-speed trains going above. Yeah. High-speed trains going above. When you're in Korea and you're at a train station or an airport and you're interested in culture and history, always look for a museum because there's nearly always at least a little one. And here we have the Gyeongju Cultural Properties Exhibition Hall. So you can actually get a hint, a taste of what we're going to be finding in this beautiful city over the next several days. So of course, this is the era when Buddhism arrives in Korea and becomes prevalent. So you're already greeted by amazing statuary. These are actually replicas of originals that are up in the mountains that you can see if you go hiking here. So let's go on in. Yeah.
Looks like he's wearing a cat on his head.
Yeah, it looks like he is wearing a cat on his head. I guess kitties are auspicious.
Meow.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with Buddhist mythology. So you actually have here a display of the excavations that have been conducted here over the last decades and the artifacts that they found. And so, City of Gold, this is an example of the gold artifacts that we will be encountering in the main museums. Supposedly here, there is one of the, I think Mongjo's tomb is buried there, supposedly an aquatic burial, no less. Munmu. Did I say Mongjo? Yeah, Munmu. Yeah, Munmu is the name of the king, right? So, yeah, we'll be going here tomorrow, or the day after, or tonight, or what. Good pleasure. And they haven't reconstructed yet, but they have rebuilt. Oh, there's more now. There's 4 buildings, not 5.
Damn.
Yeah, this is an old picture. This is an old picture because they're still racing. There are more excavated. Yeah. So these are the kind of artifacts you will be seeing. Pottery is in this era, and so easy to find that you can buy pieces like this in antique stores for a pretty reasonable amount of money, because when they Sheila, they great. This is brazier pottery, and what that means is that water in it and then put the vessel in it, and it will help keep it cool. The infamous duck-shaped vessels, whose purpose is not exactly known, but we identify them by their shape, apparently. This is the Iron Age in Korea, the commencement of the Iron Age. And so you find iron ingots, iron weaponry, iron tools are big ticket items that are included in these tombs, because in this era, it takes a lot of effort to make iron. So it's basically being buried with all this iron is a sign of your wealth, because you're taking that iron out of the local economy and literally putting it back in the ground. Oh, these are new, actually. These weren't here the last time I was here.
Which is why it's important to go every time.
That's why it's important to go every time, because they often have new things. So they actually have an illustration showing where this was found in the tomb and where they think it goes. They think it's part of a belt decoration. And they think that because of, one, where it was found relative to where the body was before the body got dissolved by the acid in the soil. And 2, sometimes they actually have statues that are wearing these little bits that are from the era, so they can tell what's what. Now, jade, this is jade. This is clear jade. And as I understand it, clear jade is the most premier grade of jade. And the Shilla dynasty was known for its consumption of jade of all the kinds. And these little moon shape, these little embryo shapes are one of the premier motifs of the Shilla dynasty. You're going to see those a lot. And the thought is that they probably represent prosperity and fertility, or something to do with the crescent moon. The debate. But what we're seeing here is actually the remnants. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. So As far as I understand it, they actually did excavations here, and they actually found the remnants of a wooden roof from the Shilla dynasty. So we're talking 6th century AD, which I don't know about you, but I think is pretty fascinating when you find wood that has survived from this era. But one of the reasons it survived is because it's been charred, which allows it actually to survive for a lot longer than if it were just left in its natural woody state. But this is actually the roof of a hut. You've got the central beam and then the side beams and the support beams. This is a grave that was found nearby, and you can see how the items were in situ, but there was no skeleton found. They never find skeletons from here because they dissolve literally in the soil. Here is a reconstruction of what villages from this era probably looked like. Of course, they have a few murals and tomb paintings that depict things. And so they've kind of put that together with the archaeology and came up with this depiction of how life was. Dioramas, very big on the dioramas. Now, the reason that they're depicting this furnace here is because over here, they actually excavated a real furnace. And this is for pottery. This is a pottery kiln, in essence. And so you can see, it still had some of the tiles, because these pottery kilns are covered in tiles, actually. And so when, it collapsed, the tiles kind of collapsed in on it. But basically, you build the fire in the back, and then you just stack the pottery here in the front, and then you seal it in for a couple of days, usually. And then, the fire goes out. Eventually, you open it and let the pottery cool, and then pull the pottery out. But you never pull the pottery straight out, or it will shatter from thermal shock. So over here we have some examples of building technology. These are roof tiles.
And drainage pipes.
Yeah, they call those roof tiles, but I don't think so. I think these are drainage pipes. It makes no sense for them to be round like that. It makes sense for them to be half round. And of course, as long as humans have been building things, we've been making ways to kill each other more efficiently. So here's some, these are Bronze Age though, because these are stone. Even though they look super metal, they are not. Those are polished stone arrowheads.
Really nice.
Yeah, so these predate, the point is that there's been habitation here for quite a long time. Yeah, stone axes. Wow, there are a lot of trains going through and not stopping today. Yeah. So, also they find a lot of swords or remnants of swords, not necessarily in the best shape after having been in the acidic soil for so long, but for that they nearly always provide a reconstruction, which I guess is on my side.
It's on your side.
Yeah. They call these sword with a ring handle, but the thing is, it's unlikely that handle would have been just bare metal like that. It was probably originally wrapped in leather and fabric and other materials that the soil just... This magnificent crown is a replica of the regalia that they have found in multiple tombs. These crowns are absolutely stunning and would definitely have created one hell of an impression on people as watching as the king and queen, as the royal court processed by. Lots of metaphorical symbolism on this belt. These represent, prosperity and fertility, but gold versions, sort of votive versions of actual objects of daily life that were in fact practiced.
Right backpack.
Yeah.
The hell? Camera.
Yep. And then over here we have very interesting thing that they always have in Korea, which is an experience, a cultural experience. And this is actually where children, and I guess these are, no, definitely, these are meant for children, not grown-ups. Sometimes they have stuff for grown-ups. Not this time, though. These are definitely meant for children. So the children can dress up like kings and queens of Shilla with the coronets and the royal robes. And then, over here, they get to sit in a replica throne and of course have their pictures taken in some sort of regal childlike pose. I don't know what would be regal for a child, but anyway, we will be going into Gyeongju and exploring so many different spaces. I just wanted to give you all a taster. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, but and subscribe because and hit the bell, because we're going to be doing some really random lives. We'll try to schedule some stuff, but it's going to be more based on when we are, where we are. But we'll definitely be taking you into the amazing golden world of the Shilla dynasty and Gyeongju here in South Korea. Well, everyone, we're going to now head to our Hanok stay, which is we're actually going to be staying the next 3 nights and 4 days in a traditional style Korean home in the beautiful countryside of Gyeongju. So we'll definitely be doing a live stream from there so you can see what it's like to stay in one of these wonderful historically inspired properties rather than the usual sort of Western style hotel.
We're in Gyeongju, South Korea.
We are in Gyeongju, South Korea, which is very close to Busan and about a 2-hour high-speed train from Seoul if the SRT. So really easy to get. And we're in fact at the SRT train station as we speak, which is causing that crazy and tectonic violence every 5 minutes or so.
Yeah. No problem, Z Corp.
Yep.
Z Corp.
Z Corp. Oh,
That's the person. But they said thank you.
Oh. Sorry, my cameraman is also my monitor. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing more of this, we will be in various places in the and which could be Thursday, depending on where to the Gyeongju National Museum, which has the real from once was and once ruled from basically from Jeju all the way through what is now Manchuria. Yeah, that's how wide-ranging the Shilla dynasty once was.
They're in deep rural Georgia.
Deep rural Georgia. Well, congratulations, or not congratulations, welcome to a whole new world. Sorry, I don't know where that word congratulations came from. That was very weird. Not what I was thinking at all. Mouth, brain, disengaged. Anyway, yeah, so if you're interested in coming with us, then please do subscribe, and we will definitely be coming more. But this was just supposed to be a quick teaser. Oh, can they not hear me? Oh, sorry.
You said the sound is in and out.
Oh, well, that can sometimes just be because things are interfering.
Yeah, we are in the basement of the train station.
Well, it's, yeah, also other things interfere with the Bluetooth. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm sorry about that. If you have any more questions and we've disconnected, just pop them in the comments. But we will be doing lots more live streaming starting a little bit later, actually, probably once we get to our
Nighttime walk or something.
Hanok. Yeah, we'll definitely be doing a nighttime walk because Gyeongju at nighttime is magically haunting. Well, thank you very much for joining us for this brief teaser live stream, and I hope to see you very soon at our next one. Until later.